Hello and welcome to UEA TV's news show for everything UEA, Viewpoint. Coming up on this edition, we will be looking at the latest news on campus and in Norwich from the last week.
Over the next week, several important events will be hosted at UEA, including campus radio station Livewire 1350's annual fundraiser event, Jailbreak. This year sees even more teams participating, and the Society hopes to exceed all their previous fundraising targets for Cancer Research UK.
To find out a little bit more about Jailbreak and the Society's charity work, we spoke to Kate Marks from Livewire about what the event involves and why the cause is so important to them. Take a look.
So Jailbreak, it sounds like something to do with like people getting out of jail or getting into trouble, and I also Urban Dictionary'd it. And it's something about kind of like unlocking phones for iPhones, or when like buttons on your top comes undone and then your boobs fall out. And it's none of those things. I guess the only kind of thing that is within those two ideas is the idea of getting out of somewhere. So Jailbreak is a challenge where you have to get as far away from UEA, well, we based it in UEA, as possible within 48 hours using no money. And all the money that you do raise, you send to charity. Jailbreak has been bound up with hearing aid, which UEA launched back in, I think it was 2006. And it was a charity fundraiser. It was around the time, I think, of like Live Aid and other things. I'm not really sure. It seems bound up with those kind of big charity fundraisers,
Right.
It was so successful that student radio associations liked the idea, and they got their charity advisor Dude to encourage other universities to do hearing aid. And it hasn't been an idea that's kind of really flown, but it was really exciting that it flared for a little bit. Last year I was in team Unchained Daisies, and we got to Gibraltar, and we raised £1,381. That was us.
Brilliant.
Which was incredible. The second team got to Budapest in Hungary, and they raised over £1,000. There were teams that got to Berlin, Belgium, Paris, Ireland, across England, and so really, really far places. And Josh Boker, I think, got to Ireland, and I remember him famous on the day of the challenge last year being like, "You're going on a prayer and a wing." There's that phrase.
Wing and a prayer.
Wing and a prayer.
Yeah.
And he told us that, and that's the advice that we got given from the years before. Last year, the second team that got to Budapest, they were able to, like, somebody bought all three of them tickets, a lot of places, which is just incredible. But yeah, I really encourage, and I have done with the Jailbreakers this year, to get in contact with last year's ones. They've come to a few of the meetings and they've been sharing their stories and giving advice, which has been great. It's one that reaches a lot of people. It's one that there's no discrimination. Cancer can reach all ages and people and races and genders. Cancer research for me, I did Jailbreak last year because my brother-in-law was suffering with bowel cancer at that time, and he was 32 and he died last summer, he was an incredible person who really kind of had the spunk, the spirit, he inspired a lot of people to do a lot of things, and it's just really crap that he's not here, really. And a lot of people have that kind of experience, and so I think it's a charity that speaks to a lot of people. Well, firstly, I hope everyone has just a wicked time. it's really a challenge where it's been one of the best things I've done in my life ever, period.
Wow.
I don't know any other ways to say that. I met one of my best friends. I realised that you can the world is happening out there, and here we are at university studying, and that happens, and it continues to happen, and it's good that we're here, but the world is there whenever you want it to be, and I think that is incredible, and that's what this challenge does. So I just really hope that everyone has an amazing time. We've set the target of £10,000 to be raised for cancer research, and I've got some really exciting news that so we've only been fundraising properly for 3 or 4 days.
Oh wow. Okay.
We've been getting a lot of interest, and a lot of teams signed up to justgiving.com, and we have reached 23% of our target.
Wonderful.
And it's 2,278 squidaroonies straight to cancer research. Boom, very exciting. Well, there'll be lots of ways they can get involved and help out and hear about it. So we're going to be covering it on Livewire 1350. If you hashtag Jailbreak UEA, then you can follow the tweets that people have been posting on there. We've got the library, the bottom floor of the library, booked, and we're going to have the base camp there, so you can come and hear about the updates throughout the whole of the weekend of the 8th, 9th and 10th of March. We're also going to be having the Twitter feeds are just going to be going crazy. There's going to be updates on the radio station and on our website. We're going to have a map in the library with the pins that we're actually going to be moving when we get the updates, and we're going to have a digital version of that on the Livewire website. So and also if you wanted to get involved, then you can email me on live.events@livewire1350.com, and I check that all the time, so if there's any questions or any ways that you want to get involved, then always an eager beaver.
Yep, great. A really exciting event for a very worthy cause. We wish Livewire the best of luck with their travels and their fundraising. In other news, UEA's Feminist Society is holding a day of lectures, workshops and performances on March the 7th to celebrate International Women's Day. Millicent Kenworthy-Green has joined us in the studio to tell Liz all about what's happening for International Women's Day and a little bit more about why the day is so important.
Thanks, Laura. Here with me now is Millicent from UEA's Feminist Society, who is hosting all the events for International Women's Day. Hi.
Hello.
So tell us more about International Women's Day. What's the background behind the events, and what's actually going on campus?
Okay, so I'm pretty sure it was a global organisation set up in, I think, 1934, but I'm not sure. And what we're doing this year, UEA Feminist Society have decided to do, it's a whole day worth of events. We've got a day event in the LCR, and then we have an evening event in the Blue Bar. So the day event's going to be going from midday till 5 p.m, and then I think the Blue Bar's 7 p.m. onwards.
Okay.
The day event's going to be a series of talks. We're going to have tables from different societies that are relevant to International Women's Day. And then in the evening, we've got all sorts. We've got music, poetry, and the girls that did the vagina monologues a few weeks ago will also be doing a performance, which I'm really excited about.
Great. So why did Feminist Society decide to do this event this year?
Well, the society's entering into its second year now. We've only been a society for 2 years. And last year, we kind of, they'd set up a really good foundation for us to build on. And we thought, why not take it to the next step? We knew that we wanted UEA to be a part of International Women's Day, and we thought it would be sensible for us to take on the load.
Great.
So.
And one of the event's aims on the Facebook page says that it's seeking to improve women's lives. Do you think there's still a lot of progress that needs to be made, even in countries like the UK and America, for women's rights?
Yeah, I think definitely. People always say one of the greatest myths surrounding feminism is that we don't need it anymore, that it's something that, we have equal rights now and there's nothing else that needs discussing. But if you just take a cursory glance around how women are viewed in the media, how women's bodies are used, actually one of the talks on Thursday, on March the 7th, is about violence in relationships, and 1/3 of women will be experienced some form of sexual abuse or rape in their lifetime, that figure isn't going to go away unless we have these sorts of events to kind of bring awareness to it. So yeah, and International Women's Day is just creating awareness of these sorts of issues. So yeah, definitely.
And in terms of media and women's rights, do you think that media has quite a lot of influence over how women perceive themselves and how they're treated as well?
I think other than stuff taught in the family unit, media is all we consume in regards to the way women are taught to view their bodies. Like in terms of advertising, the way a woman's body is used is very different to the way a man's body is used. So men in adverts typically are kind of, there's like a lifestyle that surrounds the man in any sort of fashion image, whereas a woman's body is like, usually it's very dehumanized, so like the head's cut off or something like that. It's just the body being used and all sorts of things like that. So yeah, media is very, very important, and it's one of the biggest problems.
Okay, and why do you think that International Women's Day is especially important for celebrating and encouraging women's rights?
I think, well, as I said before, it's a global organisation and it's just to raise awareness. So I think International Women's Day feeds into like all of the other kind of events, any sort of feminist-related events that sort of bring to the forefront different issues, different current issues that need to be brought to the attention of others.
How can people find out more about the event and about the UEA Feminist Society?
Okay, so for the event itself, we've got two event pages on Facebook, one for the day event and one for the evening event. So if you type in International Women's Day UEA, it will probably come up. We've got quite a few people on it already, so you'll probably have friends that are already saying that they're going. Yeah. And for the society, we meet Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 till 7. On Tuesdays, we meet in Union House, room 1.31, and Thursdays we meet in Arts 2.03. Anyone's welcome to come along just to see if they like it, see if they want to have a chat to us about anything. We also have a Facebook page, which last year we got told was one of the most active feminist Facebook pages in the UK, which we were very happy about. Yeah, so again, if you just type in UEA Feminist Society, it'll probably pop up. And we also have a Twitter feed as well. So if you type in UEA Feminism, then again, we'll crop up somewhere.
Okay, brilliant. Well, thank you for coming in to talk to us, and we hope the event is a great success.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
Another event taking place on campus over the next week is the annual KAOS charity fashion show. Now in its 6th year, the fashion show features the best of what the big brands in Norwich have to offer, modelled by our very own UEA students. Always a big highlight in the UEA calendar, the fashion show raises money for New Hope Orphanage in Kenya, KAOS's partner organisation. To find out more about what the event involves, take a look at their video.
Shree Gajjar from KAOS has joined us in the studio to talk to us about what will be happening at this year's fashion show. Hi Shree.
Hiya.
So first of all, tell us a little bit about the society. What does KAOS stand for and what is it about?
KAOS stands for Kids Action Overseas. It was started about 5 years ago by a girl called Bemi, and we just basically raise loads of money, as much money as we can, for an orphanage in Kenya called New Hope. And every year in summer we have students go out there and they use the money that we've raised in the way they feel is necessary. Last year they raised they used the money for a generator for a boys' dorm, food, blankets, socks, arts and crafts. The girls took them on trips to museums and the zoo. And we also hired a teaching assistant called Pauline to assist two of the kids with severe learning disabilities called Bernard and Alina, so that was nice as well. And I know this year they need a new fridge, so we'll try and do that as well.
Really? What's happening at the event you're running on campus this year, the fashion show?
It's an event we do every year. It's really big and exciting. It's basically we've got performances, we've got catwalks, and we've got stalls as well from other shops. We've got warehouse there, and we have food stalls as well, cakes, and yeah, it's just good fun.
Sounds really good. Do other societies take part in the event, or is it solely run by KAOS?
It's run by KAOS, but we do have people taking part. We do have Indian Society. They're doing catwalk. They might be doing a performance. ACS and tap dance. They're doing a performance. Dance squad. So yeah, we've got other societies involved, which is always exciting as well.
Which retailers are taking part in the fashion show?
We've got House of Fraser, Mango, Arc, Warehouse, Crew, Ann Summers, New Look, Retreat Vintage. I think that's most of them. Arc, I've never done that one, but yeah, that's all of them. So we've got quite a lot taking part, which is exciting as well.
What's your goals for this year in terms of fundraising and people participating?
Just the more money you raise, the more of a difference we can make, really.
Yeah.
So just get as many people to come as possible and make it as big as possible, really.
Do you think this year's event is set to be bigger than before? And do you think you're going to beat your targets?
I hope so. I really hope we can. It's a high target to beat, but I really hope we can. Like I said, we've got loads of people involved, so hopefully the word gets out and people come.
How can people find out more about the event, and how do people buy tickets as well?
They go to the Facebook page called the 6th Annual KAOS Fashion Show, and they can find out more there. And they can buy tickets either from UEA box office or myself or Abby or Emily, anyone on the committee, and hope they can come to the event. We've got over 80 models involved, loads of hair and makeup. It is chaotic, but it's a lot of fun, and I hope people can come.
Thanks for coming in to chat with us.
Thanks.
It sounds like this year's fashion show is going to be even more exciting than last year's, and I hope it goes well.
Thank you.
All that's left for us to say now is thanks to our guests, Shree, Millicent and Kate, for joining us, and thank you for watching Viewpoint. Don't forget to find us on YouTube to discover our extended interviews, or pick up a copy of Concrete for the latest news on campus.
We'll be back in a couple of weeks for your fix of news and features. Thanks for watching.